What if I told you that the key to success in your personal and professional life lies not in IQ, but in something far more profound? It's a concept known as emotional intelligence, or EQ, a term popularized by psychologist Daniel Goleman in the mid-1990s. EQ encompasses a range of skills that enable us to navigate the complexities of our emotions and the emotions of others. To truly understand emotional intelligence, we need to break it down into its 5 key components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Each of these elements plays a critical role in how we interpret emotional signals and respond to them. Let's start with self-awareness. This is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions and their effect on your thoughts and behavior. Studies have shown that self-aware individuals tend to make better decisions and maintain more meaningful relationships. For example, a 2019 study found that leaders who demonstrated high levels of self-awareness were rated significantly higher in performance by their teams. But how can we cultivate this crucial skill? Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and journaling, can enhance self-awareness. Engaging in these activities helps us to pause and reflect on our feelings before reacting, fostering a deeper understanding of our emotional landscape. Imagine a moment where you felt overwhelmed with anger or anxiety. Did you take a moment to ask yourself why? Developing self-awareness is about asking those difficult questions and being honest with yourself. Next, we have self-regulation, which is the ability to manage your emotions in healthy ways. This includes how well you control your impulses and how you react to challenges. Consider this: when faced with criticism, does your heart race, and do you feel defensive? Or can you pause, reflect, and respond with grace? One powerful method for improving self-regulation is the practice of deep breathing. Studies suggest that deep breathing can activate your parasympathetic nervous system, helping you calm down and respond more thoughtfully. The third component is motivation, which refers to a passion for the work you do and the desire to improve. This goes beyond external rewards. It's about being driven by your goals and values. Research shows that individuals with high emotional intelligence find more satisfaction in their work, as they are intrinsically motivated. To enhance motivation, you might set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For instance, instead of saying, "I want to be healthier," specify, "I will run 3 times a week for 30 minutes." It's all about putting your emotions into action. Now, let's discuss empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Empathy is what allows us to connect with others on a deep level. The Dalai Lama once said, "If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion." Studies indicate that empathetic leaders not only foster a positive company culture but also drive higher employee performance. Finally, we have social skills, which encompass everything from communication to conflict resolution. Good social skills enable us to build strong relationships, inspire and influence others, and work well in teams. Developing these skills can be as simple as practicing active listening, making an effort to truly hear what others are saying. Emotional intelligence is not just a buzzword, it's a transformative skill set. But how do we apply this knowledge in our daily lives? Stay tuned as we'll explore practical strategies for mastering each aspect of emotional intelligence in the upcoming chapters. As we delve deeper into the realms of emotional intelligence, we find ourselves face to face with the cornerstone of emotional mastery, self-awareness. Without a solid foundation of self-awareness, the other components of emotional intelligence can crumble. Imagine trying to navigate a ship without knowing where the winds are blowing. That's what it feels like to lack self-awareness. So, what does self-awareness actually look like in real life? Think of a time when you reacted impulsively in a heated moment. What was your emotional state before that reaction? When we develop self-awareness, we begin to notice the patterns of our emotions, how they influence our thoughts, and ultimately, our behaviors. To develop self-awareness, one of the first practical steps you can take is to keep a journal. Not just any journal, but an emotional journal where you record your feelings daily. Research by psychologist James Pennebaker suggests that expressive writing can lead to emotional healing and enhanced self-awareness. For instance, after writing about a traumatic event, people reported better emotional well-being and improved mood regulation. Next, consider seeking feedback from trusted friends or colleagues. This can be daunting, but it's a powerful tool for self-growth. A 2021 study found that individuals who actively sought feedback experienced a boost in self-awareness. This can include asking questions like, "How do you perceive my strengths and weaknesses?" Or, "Can you describe a time when my behavior impacted you?" It's all about understanding how others perceive our actions. Another effective strategy for enhancing self-awareness is mindfulness meditation. Regular meditation practice has been shown to increase self-awareness and help individuals become more in tune with their emotional states. A study published in the journal Psychological Science found that individuals who practiced mindfulness showed increased activity in the brain's self-referential networks. In essence, mindfulness helps us to detach from our thoughts and feelings, allowing us to observe them without judgment. Now, let's explore self-awareness in the context of emotional triggers. We all have specific triggers that provoke strong emotional reactions. Think of a situation that causes you stress or anger. Identifying these triggers is crucial for self-awareness and emotional control. For example, if deadlines make you anxious, recognizing this can help you prepare better and manage your emotions proactively. This brings us to the importance of emotional vocabulary. Many people struggle to articulate their emotions, which can lead to misunderstandings and conflict. In a fascinating study, researchers found that individuals with a more extensive emotional vocabulary were better able to regulate their emotions and cope with psychological distress. Try expanding your emotional vocabulary by learning words that describe various feelings. This will help you articulate your emotions with greater accuracy. Before we close this chapter, remember that self-awareness is a continual process. It requires patience, reflection, and a commitment to personal growth. So, what's next? In the next chapter, we will discover the art of self-regulation and how this skill can help manage our emotions more effectively. Now that we have explored self-awareness, let's dive into the intricacies of self-regulation. Self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors effectively, especially in stressful situations. It's the skill that allows us to pause and think before we act. Imagine you are in a tense meeting at work. Your boss criticizes your project. Do you lash out defensively, or do you take a moment to collect yourself and respond thoughtfully? That's the power of self-regulation. One of the first strategies for enhancing self-regulation is developing emotional awareness. Emotional awareness involves recognizing and accepting your feelings without judgment. For example, if you feel angry, instead of reacting impulsively, acknowledge that emotion, examine its root causes, and decide how to respond constructively. A practical technique to improve your self-regulation is the 10-second rule. When confronted with an emotional trigger, count to 10 before responding. This brief pause allows your brain to process the emotional response and helps you make a more informed decision. Studies show that having a brief moment of reflection can significantly improve decision-making outcomes. Another tool in your self-regulation toolbox is cognitive reframing. This involves changing the way you look at a situation to alter your emotional response. For instance, if you view a failure as a personal catastrophe, try reframing it as a learning opportunity. Research shows that individuals who practice cognitive reframing can reduce anxiety and increase resilience in the face of challenges. Stress management techniques are also crucial for self-regulation. Regular physical activity can help to regulate emotions. A study published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry found that exercise reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, boosts mood, and enhances overall emotional well-being. Simple activities such as going for a walk, practicing yoga, or engaging in sports can be excellent outlets for emotional release. It's also important to develop coping strategies for when difficult emotions arise. Consider creating a feelings toolkit, a collection of strategies and activities you can turn to when faced with emotional challenges. This might include techniques such as deep breathing, visualization, or engaging in hobbies that bring you joy. The key is to have a plan in place to help you manage your emotions proactively. Finally, let's not underestimate the power of supportive relationships in regulating our emotions. Having a network of friends or family who understand your triggers and can offer support is invaluable. Studies suggest that social support can help buffer against stress and improve emotional regulation. So, nurture your social connections, they can be your lifeline during emotional storms. As we wrap up this chapter, remember that mastering self-regulation is an ongoing journey. It requires practice, patience, and perseverance. Up next, we will uncover how motivation plays a crucial role in emotional intelligence and how it can drive you toward your goals. Now that we've covered self-regulation, let's explore the dynamic nature of motivation within emotional intelligence. Motivation is the driving force behind our actions. It's what pushes us to pursue our goals and dreams. But motivation is not merely about external rewards or accolades, it's deeply connected to our internal sense of purpose and values. A fascinating concept in motivation is intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation stems from within, fueled by personal satisfaction, passion, or interest in the task itself. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is driven by external factors, money, praise, or competition. Research shows that intrinsic motivation leads to higher levels of creativity, productivity, and overall satisfaction. Consider the story of Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft. Gates was intrinsically motivated by a fascination with technology and a desire to innovate. His passion for computer programming started at a young age and has driven his lifelong pursuit of knowledge and excellence. Gates once said, "I am not in competition with anyone but myself. My goal is to improve myself continuously." His intrinsic motivation has not only led to personal success, but it has also had a profound impact on technology and philanthropy. So, how can we harness intrinsic motivation in our lives? Start by connecting your goals with your values. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? When you align your goals with your core values, you create a sense of purpose that fuels motivation. For example, if health is a core value, you may find motivation in pursuing a healthier lifestyle. Additionally, setting challenging yet achievable goals can enhance motivation. The SMART criteria we mentioned earlier can be applied here, too. Research indicates that individuals who set specific and challenging goals are more likely to perform better than those who set vague or easy goals. Moreover, celebrating small wins along the way can significantly boost motivation. It's essential to recognize and reward your progress, no matter how small. Studies suggest that celebrating achievements enhances overall motivation and reinforces positive behavior. For instance, if you complete a challenging project, treat yourself to something enjoyable. In addition, visualization techniques can be a powerful way to enhance motivation. Visualizing your goals as if they have already been achieved can create a sense of reality and motivation to act. Athletes often use visualization to enhance performance, but it can be applied in various aspects of life, including personal and professional goals. Finally, surround yourself with positive influences. Engage with people who uplift and inspire you. Studies have shown that our social circles can significantly impact our motivation levels. By fostering a supportive and encouraging environment, you create a fertile ground for motivation to flourish. As we conclude this chapter on motivation, remember that it's not just a fleeting feeling but a continuous journey. It requires intention and effort. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the profound world of empathy and how cultivating this skill can enrich our lives and relationships. As we navigate through the intricacies of emotional intelligence, we arrive at a pivotal component, empathy. Empathy is the ability to not just understand, but also share the feelings of others. It's what allows us to connect on a deeper level, fostering meaningful relationships and creating a sense of community. There are 3 types of empathy: cognitive, emotional, and compassionate empathy. Cognitive empathy is the ability to understand another person's perspective. Emotional empathy is the capacity to physically feel what someone else is experiencing. And compassionate empathy goes a step further, as it motivates us to take action to help someone in need. Research indicates that individuals with high levels of empathy tend to be more effective leaders and collaborators. A powerful example of empathy in action can be seen in the story of Oprah Winfrey. Winfrey has built her career on empathy, connecting with millions through her ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Her signature talk show was known for its heartfelt conversations that often centered on guests' struggles and triumphs. Winfrey stated, "The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change their future by merely changing their attitude." Her empathetic approach has helped countless individuals find their voices and express their emotions. So, how can we cultivate empathy in our daily lives? One effective method is active listening. When we listen actively, we give our full attention to the speaker, allowing them to express their thoughts and feelings without interruption. A study from the Journal of Communication found that individuals who practice active listening are perceived as more empathetic and trustworthy. Another strategy involves putting yourself in someone else's shoes. This practice requires us to consider others' perspectives and emotions. For instance, if a friend is going through a tough time, try to imagine how they feel and what they might need. This simple act can deepen our connections and foster understanding. In addition, volunteering or engaging in community service can heighten our sense of empathy. When we see the struggles of others firsthand, we develop a deeper appreciation for their experiences. Research shows that individuals who engage in altruistic behaviors report higher levels of empathy and life satisfaction. Moreover, reflecting on our own experiences can enhance empathy. By sharing our struggles and vulnerabilities, we connect with others on a human level. Consider how your own emotional experiences can guide your responses to others in similar situations. This reflection can create a bridge of understanding and connection. Lastly, practicing gratitude can significantly boost empathy. When we focus on what we're thankful for, we cultivate a positive outlook that allows us to approach others with compassion. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that gratitude is linked to greater empathetic concern. So, before you go to bed each night, consider writing down a few things you're grateful for and observe how it impacts your interactions. As we reach the end of this chapter on empathy, remember that cultivating this quality enriches not only our lives but also the lives of others. In our next chapter, we will explore the final piece of the emotional intelligence puzzle, social skills, and how mastering them can lead to stronger relationships and greater success. Social skills, often regarded as the bridge between emotional intelligence and tangible success, are more critical than you might think. Picture this: you're at a networking event, surrounded by potential collaborators and mentors. The ability to connect with others, engage in meaningful conversations, and leave a lasting impression can be the determining factor in unlocking professional opportunities. But what exactly does it mean to possess strong social skills? At its core, social skills encompass a range of interpersonal abilities, including effective communication, conflict resolution, active listening, and teamwork. Each of these components plays a crucial role in building relationships and fostering trust. Consider a study from Harvard Business Review, which found that 50% of the difference between top-performing and average employees can be attributed to social skills. This statistic alone emphasizes the importance of mastering this area of emotional intelligence. Effective communication is perhaps the most visible social skill. It's not just about the words we choose but how we convey them. Our body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions all contribute to the message we send. A renowned psychologist, Dr. Albert Mehrabian, famously stated that only 7% of communication is based on words, while 93% is derived from nonverbal cues. This means that to truly connect with others, you must be acutely aware of not only what you say but how you say it. For example, in a study conducted by the University of California, it was shown that participants could accurately assess the emotional state of others by observing their body language alone, without hearing their words. Now, let's delve into conflict resolution, a skill that can make or break interpersonal relationships. Effective conflict resolution involves recognizing the emotions at play on both sides and facilitating a constructive dialogue. A compelling case study involves a multinational corporation that was facing high levels of employee dissatisfaction due to frequent miscommunications and unresolved conflicts among team members. After implementing emotional intelligence training focused on social skills, the organization saw a remarkable turnaround. Employee satisfaction scores jumped by 25% within 6 months, showcasing the direct correlation between social skills and workplace morale. Additionally, active listening is an essential aspect of social skills. It's not just about hearing words, it's about understanding the emotions behind those words. This levels up your ability to respond appropriately and empathetically. Studies have shown that leaders who actively listen are more likely to earn the loyalty and commitment of their teams. Imagine a manager who not only hears but understands the stresses their employees are experiencing during a project deadline. By acknowledging these feelings and addressing them, the manager not only builds rapport but also enhances productivity. Moreover, teamwork is crucial for any successful endeavor. Emotional intelligence enhances collaboration among team members by fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding. A team that communicates well and resolves conflicts effectively is one that can achieve greater innovation and success. As we conclude this chapter, remember that developing social skills requires practice and a genuine desire to connect with others. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but the rewards, a broader network, deeper relationships, and more opportunities, are well worth the effort. So, how will you begin to engage more actively with those around you? What small steps can you take today to enhance your social skills and expand your emotional intelligence? Relationships are the cornerstone of our emotional lives, but navigating the intricate dynamics of human connections can often feel overwhelming. Emotional intelligence serves as a powerful compass, guiding us through the complexities of relationships. A study conducted by the University of Michigan found that people with high emotional intelligence are more likely to maintain healthy relationships, demonstrating the critical link between emotional intelligence and relational success. But how exactly does emotional intelligence impact our relationships? Let's break that down. At the heart of any strong relationship is open communication. Emotionally intelligent individuals are adept at expressing their feelings honestly while remaining sensitive to the emotions of others. This two-way communication creates a safe space for vulnerability, nurturing deeper connections. For example, consider a couple facing a marital crisis. Instead of resorting to blame, a partner with high emotional intelligence might approach the situation by expressing their feelings and asking open-ended questions to better understand their spouse's perspective. This approach not only diffuses tension but also opens pathways to reconciliation. Furthermore, emotional intelligence cultivates understanding, especially in times of conflict. A study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that emotionally intelligent individuals are better equipped to manage disagreements without damaging their relationships. They are able to recognize their own emotions and those of their partner, allowing them to approach conflicts with empathy and calmness. Imagine a scenario where one partner feels neglected. Rather than reacting defensively, an emotionally intelligent partner recognizes their partner's feelings and responds with compassion and a willingness to discuss the issue. Moreover, trust is a fundamental aspect of any relationship. Emotional intelligence helps build trust through consistent and empathetic behavior. When individuals demonstrate reliability and emotional awareness, they foster an environment of safety and security. Think back to the last time you confided in a friend. Chances are, you felt a sense of trust in their ability to understand and keep your feelings confidential. This is the essence of emotional intelligence in relationships. It builds bonds that can withstand challenges. Additionally, let's not forget about the importance of emotional regulation in relationships. When we can manage our emotions effectively, we reduce the likelihood of explosive arguments or emotional outbursts. A case in point is a workplace relationship where two colleagues are working on a high-stakes project. If one becomes overwhelmed and lashes out, it could jeopardize not just their relationship but also the project's success. An emotionally intelligent colleague would recognize their rising frustration and choose to communicate their needs calmly instead. As we expand further into the world of relationships, consider the role of emotional intelligence in parenting. Parents who practice emotional intelligence are often more attuned to their children's emotional needs, leading to healthier parent-child relationships. Research indicates that children raised in emotionally intelligent households tend to be more empathetic and successful in their social interactions. For example, when a child experiences bullying at school, an emotionally aware parent can provide support by helping the child articulate their feelings and strategize appropriate ways to cope and respond. As we reflect on the importance of emotional intelligence in relationships, keep in mind that it's an ongoing journey. The skills you cultivate will not only enhance your connections but also enrich your own emotional well-being. As you move forward, ponder this: in what relationships can you apply the principles of emotional intelligence to foster deeper connections? How can you use your experiences to better understand and nurture those around you? Leadership is not just about authority, it's about influence, vision, and the ability to connect with others on an emotional level. Emotional intelligence is a game-changer in leadership, as it shapes the way leaders interact with their teams and drive performance. A study from the Center for Creative Leadership found that emotionally intelligent leaders boost team performance by 20%, highlighting the importance of this skill in effective management. Let's explore how emotional intelligence manifests in leadership. First and foremost, self-awareness is crucial for leaders. A leader who understands their own emotional triggers, how stress affects their mood and decision-making, will be better positioned to navigate challenges effectively. Consider the case of Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, who transformed the company culture by emphasizing empathy and inclusivity. His self-awareness and understanding of the importance of emotional intelligence led Microsoft to become one of the most valuable companies in the world. Another pivotal aspect is the ability to inspire and motivate. Leaders with high emotional intelligence create environments where team members feel valued and can contribute authentically. This connection not only drives engagement but also fosters loyalty. For instance, a company that encourages open feedback and recognizes achievements sees a significant increase in employee motivation and retention. Moreover, conflict resolution is an indispensable skill for any leader. When issues arise, emotionally intelligent leaders approach problems with a calm demeanor and a collaborative mindset. They facilitate discussions that allow team members to express their feelings while addressing the underlying issues. Take, for example, a tech startup struggling with creative differences among its design team. A leader who leverages emotional intelligence can mediate effectively, ensuring that every voice is heard and that a solution emerges that satisfies the group. Additionally, empathy plays a crucial role in leadership. Emotionally intelligent leaders actively listen to their employees and understand their perspectives, fostering an environment where people feel safe to share their thoughts. Research indicates that leaders who show empathy are more successful in achieving their goals, as team members are more inclined to put forth their best efforts. For example, during a challenging company transition, a leader who openly acknowledges employee concerns and provides reassurance can significantly reduce anxiety and increase morale. Furthermore, emotional intelligence enhances decision-making skills. Leaders who utilize emotional intelligence can better assess the emotional climates of their teams and make informed decisions that reflect the team's sentiments. By focusing on the emotional context of decisions, leaders can often identify potential resistance and proactively address it. This strategic approach leads to more cohesive and effective teams. As we wrap up this chapter, it's essential to understand that leadership is not a solo endeavor. It thrives on collaboration and connection. Enhanced emotional intelligence not only builds stronger teams but also paves the way for innovative solutions and greater overall success. Reflect on your own leadership style. How can you integrate emotional intelligence into your approach to inspire and lead your team more effectively? Understanding emotional intelligence is incomplete without delving into the science that underpins it. At its core, emotional intelligence refers to the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in ourselves and others. Researchers have outlined several key components of emotional intelligence, which include self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. This framework, developed by psychologists such as Daniel Goleman, provides a comprehensive view of how these components interact and contribute to our emotional and social functioning. Goleman's model has gained widespread recognition since its introduction in the mid-1990s, and it serves as the foundation for many emotional intelligence assessments used today. Let's break down these components further. Self-awareness, as we've discussed, is the ability to recognize one's emotions and their influence on thoughts and behaviors. Research has shown that individuals who practice self-reflection and mindfulness demonstrate higher levels of emotional intelligence. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals with greater self-awareness are more likely to succeed in their careers, suggesting a strong correlation between self-perception and professional achievement. Self-regulation, another pillar, involves managing one's emotional responses in various situations. Psychologists have found that people with high self-regulation are less prone to impulsive behaviors and are better equipped to handle stress. This skill is particularly relevant in high-pressure environments, where the ability to remain calm can lead to more effective decision-making. For example, a neurosurgeon facing a critical situation in the operating room must employ self-regulation to maintain focus and composure. Motivation, the third component of emotional intelligence, refers to the intrinsic drive to achieve goals, often tied to personal values and passions. Studies show that emotionally intelligent individuals are more likely to set and achieve meaningful goals, as they are driven by their internal motivations rather than external rewards. A powerful illustration can be seen in athletes who not only practice relentlessly but also possess the mental fortitude to overcome setbacks, demonstrating the link between emotional intelligence and achievement. Empathy, the fourth pillar, allows individuals to connect with others emotionally. Neuroscience research has identified specific brain regions, such as the mirror neurons, that activate when we experience empathy toward others. These findings reveal that our brains are wired for connection, reinforcing the importance of empathy in interpersonal relationships. Think about the last time someone shared their struggles with you. Your empathetic response likely stemmed from this innate neural wiring. Finally, social skills encompass the ability to navigate social situations effectively. Research indicates that social skills can be linked to overall career success and satisfaction in life. A survey conducted by the Hay Group in 2015 revealed that 75% of careers are determined by emotional and social skills rather than technical skills alone. This statistic is a powerful reminder that developing social competence is just as vital as honing technical abilities in our professional journeys. As we conclude this chapter, it's clear that the science behind emotional intelligence is both fascinating and essential to our understanding of human behavior. As you reflect on your own emotional intelligence journey, consider what neuroscience and research can teach you about improving your emotional skills. What scientific insights resonate with your personal experiences, and how might they inspire you to challenge yourself further in mastering emotional intelligence? As we come to the end of our exploration into emotional intelligence, it's essential to recognize that mastering these skills is a lifelong journey. Each chapter we've delved into represents a facet of emotional intelligence, but the true mastery comes from integrating these insights into your daily life. The first step is to commit to ongoing self-awareness. Reflect on your emotions regularly and seek feedback from others. This practice not only deepens your understanding of yourself but also opens up opportunities for growth. A study published in Emotion found that people who actively seek feedback about their emotional reactions improve their emotional intelligence over time. Next, embrace self-regulation techniques. Whether it's through mindfulness practices, journaling, or seeking support during challenging times, find strategies that resonate with you. Research suggests that individuals who practice mindfulness can better manage their emotions and respond to stress more effectively. Incorporating these techniques into your routine can lead to substantial improvements in emotional management and overall well-being. Additionally, motivation is a driving force in the journey of emotional intelligence. Setting personal and professional goals aligned with your values can enhance your intrinsic motivation. Studies show that when individuals pursue goals that are meaningful to them, they experience higher levels of satisfaction and achievement. Reflect on what truly matters to you and take the necessary steps to pursue those passions. Empathy is another skill that requires practice and intention. Engage in active listening and consciously put yourself in others' shoes. Research from the Journal of Applied Psychology indicates that teams that foster empathetic interactions are more innovative and collaborative. Consider how you can incorporate empathy into your everyday interactions, be it at work, in friendships, or within your family. Finally, building social skills involves stepping outside your comfort zone. Join groups, participate in community activities, or practice public speaking. These experiences enhance your ability to connect with others and develop meaningful relationships. Studies have shown that social engagement positively correlates with emotional intelligence and overall life satisfaction. As we conclude this journey, remember that mastering emotional intelligence is not a destination but a continuous process of growth and discovery. Reflect on everything we've covered and consider what steps you will take to apply these insights in your life. How will you commit to becoming emotionally intelligent in your interactions, leadership, and relationships moving forward? The journey ahead is filled with possibilities, and each step you take toward emotional intelligence brings you closer to a more fulfilling and connected life. In a world filled with challenges and adversity, resilience has become a crucial trait for thriving. But what does emotional intelligence have to do with resilience? Actually, quite a lot. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about how we respond to stressors and emotional upheavals. Studies have shown that individuals with higher emotional intelligence are more adept at managing stress and fostering resilience. For example, a study by the American Psychological Association found that emotionally intelligent individuals not only cope better with stressful situations but also recover faster. To illustrate this, let's consider the story of Sarah, a young entrepreneur. After her startup failed, the initial wave of disappointment caught her off guard. However, by leveraging her emotional intelligence, she took stock of her emotions, acknowledging her sadness, but not allowing it to define her. Instead of wallowing in regret, she used her self-awareness to understand what went wrong and how to improve. By reframing her failure as a learning opportunity, Sarah exemplified resilience. She sought feedback, learned new skills, and eventually launched a more successful venture. Resilience is not just a trait you're born with, it's something that can be cultivated through emotional intelligence. Research by Dr. Barbara Fredrickson suggests that positive emotions, which are an integral part of emotional intelligence, broaden our cognitive resources, allowing us to think more creatively and flexibly in times of stress. The key takeaway? Developing emotional intelligence can dramatically enhance your resilience. It equips you with the tools to navigate life's challenges effectively, ensuring that setbacks don't lead to stagnation. In the next chapter, we'll explore how emotional intelligence not only impacts personal resilience but also enhances productivity in workplace environments. Are you ready to delve into the compelling world of emotional intelligence in the workplace? Conflict is an inevitable part of life, whether in personal relationships or professional settings. However, how we tackle these conflicts can vary significantly based on our emotional intelligence. Individuals high in emotional intelligence tend to navigate disputes more effectively, turning potential confrontations into opportunities for growth and understanding. Consider the story of a team in a corporate environment facing a critical project deadline. Tensions were high, and disagreements turned into heated arguments. In this scenario, a team leader with strong emotional intelligence noticed the rising discontent. Instead of ignoring the conflict or letting it escalate, they called a team meeting. By employing the skills of active listening and empathy, the leader allowed every team member to voice their concerns without fear of judgment. They shared their own feelings about the project pressures, creating a safe space for open dialogue. This act of vulnerability, grounded in emotional intelligence, not only diffused the tension but also fostered a sense of camaraderie among team members. According to a study published in the Harvard Business Review, leaders who effectively manage emotions within their teams can reduce the number of conflicts by up to 50%. This data speaks volumes about the power of emotional intelligence in transforming workplace dynamics. Moreover, when conflicts are resolved through emotionally intelligent means, teams emerge stronger, with improved trust and collaboration. In the next chapter, we will examine the role of emotional intelligence in personal relationships, particularly in romantic partnerships. How does emotional intelligence foster healthier, more fulfilling connections? Stay tuned as we uncover the profound impact of emotional intelligence on our closest relationships. Decision-making is a complex process that can be influenced by various emotions. Emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in helping us make sound decisions that align with our values and objectives. Studies indicate that individuals with high emotional intelligence are better at distinguishing between their emotional responses and rational reasoning. This distinction is crucial in making balanced decisions. For instance, think about a leader faced with a significant business decision, such as whether to downsize their workforce. A leader lacking in emotional intelligence may make a decision purely based on financial data, resulting in adverse impacts on employee morale and company culture. Conversely, an emotionally intelligent leader will consider the emotional ramifications of their decision. They might seek feedback from employees, analyze the potential impact on team dynamics, and explore alternative solutions, such as offering voluntary layoffs or retraining programs. This thoughtful approach not only aids in making a more informed decision but also nurtures trust within the organization. According to research from the University of California, Berkeley, emotionally intelligent decision-makers exhibit greater accountability for their choices, leading to more favorable outcomes over time. Imagine the long-term effects of fostering a culture where emotional intelligence governs decision-making. Employees feel valued, which translates to higher engagement and productivity. As we transition to the next chapter, we will uncover the transformative power of emotional intelligence in education and how it can reshape the future of learning. How can emotional intelligence benefit students, teachers, and academic institutions? Let's dive in. In a world filled with challenges and unpredictability, resilience becomes vital. But how does emotional intelligence contribute to our resilience? Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about growing stronger from adversity. To grasp the connection between emotional intelligence and resilience, let's explore a powerful example, that of J.K. Rowling, the famed author of the Harry Potter series. Rowling faced numerous hardships before her breakthrough. As a single mother living on welfare, she was often depressed and facing rejection after rejection from publishers. Yet, through her emotional intelligence, she acknowledged her emotions and navigated her stress and despair, rather than allowing them to define her. Her story exemplifies the importance of self-awareness, one of the pillars of emotional intelligence. Rowling didn't simply accept her circumstances, she allowed herself to feel her emotions deeply. This self-awareness was pivotal in her ability to then channel those feelings into her writing, ultimately leading to her success. But how does self-awareness translate to resilience? Research shows that resilient individuals possess a strong understanding of their emotional triggers and responses. They can recognize when they need to regroup and recharge, allowing them to avoid burnout. Studies reinforce this notion. A survey by the American Psychological Association found that people who practice emotional intelligence report greater overall well-being and can navigate stress more effectively. The ability to self-regulate is also crucial in resilience. Emotional intelligence allows us to manage our reactions, ensuring that we respond to setbacks with a constructive mindset. For example, let's consider the story of Michael Jordan. Cut from his high school basketball team, he faced what many would consider a devastating blow. However, instead of succumbing to despair, he channeled his emotions into determination, training harder than ever before. This powerful response to rejection is a hallmark of someone who possesses high emotional intelligence. Jordan's journey teaches us that the path to resilience is not about avoiding challenges but confronting them head-on. Emotional intelligence equips us to deal with stressors effectively, enabling us to thrive in difficult circumstances. Moreover, emotional intelligence fosters social connections, which can amplify resilience. When facing hardships, the support of others is invaluable. Individuals with high emotional intelligence tend to cultivate strong, supportive relationships, as they're adept at empathizing and connecting with others. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many individuals turned to online communities for support. People shared their fears and struggles, creating a network of resilience strengthened by emotional bonds. This demonstration of collective emotional intelligence proved that we are not alone in our challenges. Now, let's consider practical ways to enhance our resilience through emotional intelligence. First, engage in mindfulness practices. Mindfulness enhances self-awareness, allowing us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Techniques like meditation or journaling can be powerful tools in understanding our emotional landscape. Second, foster a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities to learn, rather than obstacles. This mindset can be supported by acknowledging past challenges and how you've overcome them, reinforcing the belief in your ability to adapt and grow. Lastly, cultivate supportive relationships. Invest time in nurturing connections with others who encourage and uplift you. Emotional intelligence thrives in environments where empathy and understanding are prioritized. In conclusion, resilience is an integral component of emotional intelligence. By understanding our emotions, self-regulating our reactions, and building strong relationships, we can navigate life's adversities with strength and grace. As we move forward in our exploration of emotional intelligence, let's look deeper into the complexities of conflict resolution and its relationship with emotional intelligence. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction, but how we approach conflict can define our relationships and environments. Emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in conflict resolution, helping us to navigate disagreements with understanding and compassion. Consider the story of two co-workers, Lisa and John, who found themselves at odds over a project deadline. Lisa, overwhelmed by personal issues, missed an important meeting. John, feeling frustrated, reacted defensively, resulting in a heated exchange. This scenario exemplifies how unchecked emotions can escalate minor disagreements into significant conflicts. However, if either had employed emotional intelligence, the outcome could have been vastly different. Emotional intelligence involves the ability to recognize and understand one's own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. In Lisa and John's case, a few simple strategies could have transformed their interaction. First and foremost, self-awareness could help them identify their emotional triggers. Had John recognized his frustration as a response to stress rather than a personal attack, he could have chosen to respond with patience instead. Moreover, empathy is a cornerstone of effective conflict resolution. By putting themselves in each other's shoes, Lisa and John could have expressed understanding for each other's struggles. Research indicates that individuals with high empathy can de-escalate conflicts, as they tend to respond to emotional cues more sensitively. For instance, let's look at the case of the United Nations peacekeepers. During a mission to mitigate conflicts in war-torn regions, emotional intelligence training was essential. Peacekeepers who practiced emotional intelligence were seen as more effective in conflict resolution. They could assess the emotions of conflicting parties, helping to facilitate communication and find common ground. This demonstrates how emotional intelligence can be a powerful tool in not just personal relationships but also in global diplomacy. One vital aspect of conflict resolution is the ability to self-regulate emotions. High emotional intelligence allows individuals to manage their feelings effectively during disagreements. Instead of reacting impulsively, they can pause, breathe, and respond thoughtfully. Let's draw from the experience of a renowned mediator, William Ury, who has worked on numerous thorny conflicts. Ury emphasizes the importance of staying calm and composed during negotiations. He often advises taking a break when emotions run high. Active listening is another essential element. Practicing active listening means fully concentrating on what is being said rather than simply waiting for your turn to respond. This practice fosters understanding and helps to clarify the other party's perspective. The classic example of this is the lead-up to the landmark Good Friday Agreement in Northern Ireland. Leaders from opposing factions dedicated themselves to listening and understanding the other's viewpoint, enabling a historic resolution. Now, let's explore some practical steps to harness emotional intelligence in conflict resolution. First, practice self-reflection. After a conflict, reflect on your emotions and actions. Consider what triggered your feelings and how you reacted. This self-awareness will help you in future conflicts. Second, hone your empathetic skills. Engage in conversations where you actively try to understand the feelings of others. This practice can help you become more attuned to the emotional landscape of those around you. Lastly, engage in role-play scenarios. This method is often used in training programs for leaders and mediators. Role-playing different perspectives allows individuals to practice empathy and improve their conflict resolution skills in a safe environment. In summary, emotional intelligence is vital in conflict resolution. By understanding our emotions, empathizing with others, and employing effective communication techniques, we can navigate conflicts constructively. As we continue our journey, let's examine how emotional intelligence enhances decision-making processes. Decision-making is an integral part of our lives, influencing both personal and professional realms. Emotional intelligence significantly impacts how we make decisions. It's not just about the facts or numbers, our emotions and the emotions of others weigh heavily in the choices we make. Let's consider a compelling example from the world of business, the case study of Howard Schultz, former CEO of Starbucks. When Schultz took the helm at Starbucks, the company had already established a strong brand. However, during the 2008 economic downturn, the company faced significant challenges. Schultz recognized that the company needed to evolve, but his decisions were not solely based on data. He tapped into his emotional intelligence to assess the feelings of his employees and customers alike. Schultz understood that during tough times, employee morale was crucial. He chose to implement benefits that would support his employees, a decision rooted in empathy. This not only bolstered staff loyalty but also helped Starbucks emerge from the crisis stronger. His ability to recognize and respond to the emotional climate within his company exemplified the power of emotional intelligence in decision-making. Research supports this notion. A study published in the journal Emotion found that emotional intelligence significantly influences decision-making quality. Individuals with higher emotional intelligence tend to make more balanced decisions, as they can weigh emotional factors alongside rational ones. But how exactly does emotional intelligence enhance decision-making? First, it fosters self-awareness, allowing us to identify our emotional biases. When making decisions, it's easy to be swayed by strong emotions, whether they be excitement or fear. By recognizing our emotions, we can make more rational choices. For example, imagine a salesperson who feels overly excited about a potential sale. This excitement might cloud their judgment, leading them to overlook important terms in a contract. Second, empathy plays a critical role. Understanding the emotions of others can lead to better decisions that consider the perspectives of all stakeholders involved. In negotiations, for instance, being attuned to the emotions of the other party can help foster collaboration and lead to mutually beneficial outcomes. Additionally, emotional intelligence aids in collaborative decision-making. Teams that practice emotional intelligence tend to have better group dynamics and achieve superior outcomes. A study by Google on effective teams found that the most successful groups were those where team members felt emotionally safe and heard. To cultivate emotional intelligence in decision-making, there are several actionable steps we can take. First, practice mindfulness. Being present can help us recognize our emotions in real time, giving us the clarity we need for better decision-making. Techniques such as mindful breathing can ground us, especially during high-stakes decisions. Second, engage in collaborative discussions. Foster an environment where all voices are heard. Creating a space for open dialogue encourages emotional expression and enhances the quality of the decisions made. Encourage team members to share their feelings and thoughts on potential decisions, allowing for a richer collective insight. Finally, reflect after making decisions. What emotions influenced your choice? How did understanding those emotions affect the outcome? This reflection builds our decision-making skills over time. In conclusion, emotional intelligence is a powerful asset in decision-making. By tapping into our emotions and recognizing those of others, we can make choices that are not only rational but also empathetic and considerate. Our journey through emotional intelligence has illuminated its many facets, and as we come to the conclusion, let's reflect on how this will continually shape our lives and interactions. Have you ever found yourself reacting to a situation in a way that surprised you? It's likely that you were responding to an emotional trigger. Emotional triggers are events, situations, or interactions that provoke a strong emotional response, often rooted in past experiences. Understanding these triggers is a vital part of mastering emotional intelligence. For instance, consider a person who experienced a traumatic event in childhood. If they encounter a similar situation later in life, perhaps a loud argument or a sudden shout, they may react with fear or anger disproportionate to the current context. This reaction stems from their subconscious association of the current event with the past trauma. By identifying and acknowledging these triggers, we can start to manage our responses more effectively. A powerful example comes from the world of therapy. Dr. Judith Orloff, a psychiatrist and author, shares the story of a client named Mark. During a session, Mark revealed he would often lash out at his partner over minor disagreements. Upon deeper exploration, it became evident that Mark's emotional trigger was linked to his father's harsh criticism during his childhood. Every time he felt criticized, even subtly, it connected to that old wound. Understanding this allowed Mark to communicate his feelings without lashing out, improving his relationship dramatically. Emotional intelligence mastery involves not only recognizing our own triggers but also being aware of others. Imagine a colleague who seems easily offended by feedback. If you can identify that their past experiences might be influencing their reactions, you can approach the situation with greater empathy and understanding. This creates an environment where everyone feels safe and valued. Research shows that developing this understanding can lead to significant improvements in relationships. A study published in the journal Emotion found that individuals who recognized their emotional triggers reported greater life satisfaction and better interpersonal relationships. This doesn't just apply to personal relationships. In workplaces, acknowledging others' triggers can foster a healthier atmosphere where collaboration thrives. In conclusion, understanding emotional triggers is a foundational step in emotional intelligence mastery. It allows us to navigate relationships with more awareness and compassion. As we move forward, let's explore how this knowledge can directly influence our communication skills, enhancing our ability to connect authentically with others. The workplace can often seem like an arena of competition, deadlines, and stress. However, a growing body of research suggests that emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in creating a more productive and harmonious environment. One striking example comes from a study of 1,000 companies, which found that those with high emotional intelligence among their employees saw a significant boost in overall performance. Organizations like Google have recognized this, incorporating emotional intelligence assessments into their hiring processes. Leaders with high emotional intelligence are not only more effective but also foster a culture of openness and support, leading to lower turnover rates. Let's take a closer look at a real-life case. At a tech company, a manager named Sarah was known for her strict adherence to deadlines. Initially, her team felt overwhelmed and stressed. However, when Sarah began to practice emotional intelligence, actively listening to her team's concerns and understanding their emotional states, everything changed. She created an environment where employees felt comfortable sharing their struggles, which not only improved morale but also led to increased productivity. Team members reported being more engaged and even started collaborating more effectively. Furthermore, research indicates that emotional intelligence is directly linked to leadership effectiveness. According to TalentSmart, 90% of top performers have high emotional intelligence, while just 20% of low performers have this skill.